I-25 southbound, Colorado. We're just coming into Denver. And there's downtown right there.
Keep right onto I-25 South.
Yeah, we started the morning in Laramie, Wyoming. Up off of I-90, about 40-something miles west of Cheyenne. Came down to US 278, got into Colorado, went to our stop in Fort Collins, made our delivery of a little mini excavator, an 85G John Deere excavator. Got that delivered. On our way south here, on our way south down to Fort Collins, or Fort Carson, Colorado, right near Colorado Springs. We got 3 other loads assigned for me to pick up. Really, it's considered 1 load, but 3 stops to pick up. So we stopped in at Frederick, Colorado. We picked up this Ham HP 180i roller. Now we're heading down to Colorado Springs. We're going to pick up a set of forks for like a skid steer. We're picking up a quote-unquote plumbing kit. Then we're heading to Fort Carson to drop off this piece of military equipment, some aircraft parts or whatever they're calling it. And then once we get that off, we're going to be heading down to Pueblo West, a little bit further south. We're going down there to pick up a 624J wheel loader coupler. And the coupler is that piece that sits at the front that attaches the, any of the buckets or plows or forks or whatever on the front of it. And a 624 is a wheel loader, a big giant forklift, basically. Like I said, we got 3 stops to pick up. We got 2 deliveries to do. We've already made 1 so far today. Like I said, Colorado Springs, Fort Carson, Pueblo, Albuquerque. That's the itinerary for the next day or so. Now, from our stop up here, or here in Colorado Springs, about 425 miles ish to our stop in Albuquerque, which we've been to many, many, many times. There's a TA right around the corner from the John Deere dealer down there. So for the most part, I-25 straight south. For the most part. A little bit here, a little bit there off to the side, but nothing too radical. Like I say, we're picking up 4 pieces, which are going to Albuquerque. We got 1 piece to drop off here down at Fort Carson. And everything else is running nice and smooth for the most part. Okay. $55 instead of $40, please. Some of us do have places to be.
Come on, people. Brake pedal bad, accelerator good. Let's go.
I don't know what that means. My license came from Cracker Jacks.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I can tell what you said. You sound like this.
And I got my license from Cracker Jacks, so I don't know what the brake and accelerator do properly.
Turn your mic gain up. Knock right up your mic.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, ready. Oh, loaded. Empower Field. Denver, Colorado. Like I said, I would have preferred heading due east once I made this delivery here in Fort Carson, but I guess there was no viable load to do that. So now we get to go south down to Albuquerque first. All right. But right at the moment, we're running around 38,000 pounds on the deck. We're only going to add another 2,000 to that, roughly, I'm thinking. Maybe a ton, maybe a ton and a half for the for these next two little pieces, a set of forks and a, wow, that was brilliant. Way to be reckless and dangerous on the highway. So like I said, we're going to add a little, another ton and a half here at the next stop here in Colorado Springs. We'll add another 800 or 500 at most down in Pueblo West. But here in Fort Carson, before we get to Pueblo West, we're going to take about 8,000 pounds off. So we're going to be topping up around 40,000 when we start heading down into New Mexico. So not too bad. I mean, we got to deal with the going through Raton Pass. Now, if everything goes rather smoothly, I could possibly get down to Trinidad, which is like exit 12 here on I-25 before we get down to New Mexico. If we can do that, we can stop in and stay at the Walmart overnight. Which wouldn't be too bad. And it's not too bad of a place to stop. I've stopped there because, before, just because it's a good place, in the middle of summer. And also I've stopped there because it was wintertime and they shut the pass down and we just physically couldn't go any further. But if we can stop there tonight, I'll be satisfied with that. This guy's like I said, we got this roller. We're going to pick up some forks, a plumbing kit here in Colorado Springs. We're going to pick up a coupler in Pueblo West. Then once I get to Albuquerque, then it's, of course, a waiting game to see what's what. It really should not be too much of a problem to deliver all this stuff to Albuquerque tomorrow. The only thing, well, only two things, but mainly the only thing that would hold me up making my delivery in Albuquerque. Well, first of all, making my pickup in Pueblo West, but then making my delivery in then making my delivery here at Fort Carson. If nobody's there to receive my this little piece of equipment I'm delivering, I've made some phone calls this morning, trying to get in touch with somebody, anybody, because the phone number I have, the alternative that I've been given, neither of them were either in service or not responding at all. Like I said, there is that possibility that I could get delayed today, which kind of is annoying. Well, not kind of, really is annoying. But I would still have the possibility of delivering late Wednesday. I think I can deliver up to 5 o'clock there in Albuquerque. I think. I got to look at the what times they're open, but I think I can deliver that to the to where I'm going, where I'm delivering to by 5. Since it's only 425 miles roughly, that's still a possibility. But more than likely, so depending upon the weather, depending upon traffic and construction and blah, 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 I might not deliver that until Wednesday morning. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed, and we're just going to keep hoping that we can, I said, the next pickup, I called them ahead, said I'm on my way. They said fine. Pueblo West, I said I'm on my way. They said fine. Now it's just up to the military, the Army. They're in Colorado Springs, Fort Carson, whether or not I'm allowed to deliver. But we'll give it a go. But not too bad of a day. I mean, temperature's up to 66 which we were near freezing this morning. But it wasn't too bad. By the time when I stepped out to do my my pre-trip inspection, and I was out with just a t-shirt, long pants, yes, but just a t-shirt. The wind wasn't blowing. So it was fairly comfortable. Big John, good morning, sir. We are just a little bit south of Denver, Colorado now. Aurora, Lyman. And given the choice between parking in Aurora or driving all the way out to Lyman, I'll drive all the way out to Lyman first before I try to park in Aurora. A, dirty. B, crowded all the time. Another mile and a half, 2 miles out to the east, another 300 or 400 parking spots would be rather nice. Get off the phone, you idiot. Got the phone in his hand, right up in front of his face while he's driving. This guy on my right here. Come on. Oh, run. On to squash, all right. How many bushel did you come through with? I guess squash isn't done by the bushel. I guess squash is done by the pound, right? Well, I guess depending on what type of squash. All right. So we got basically another hour down here. Hey, my favorite kind of squash, pumpkin pie. You give me a good ice cold pumpkin pie, already cut up, waiting in the refrigerator. Every 20 minutes, get up and have another slice. Don't even put it on a plate. Just hold it in your hand, nice and firm, nice and nutmeg and allspice and that good pumpkin flavor, that nice savory flavor on a good crust, not burnt anywhere, nice and even pumpkin color. Really, did you have to do that, there, idiot? If I had that, there's not many more things that I actually need in. I don't care if it's the middle of August. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or my birthday. Pumpkin pie is good every day of the year. I don't like my pumpkin pie just mush. I like it just a tiny bit firm so that it holds together. Some of them are just like, just barely congealed, blah. It's like, ugh. It just, you try to cut it with a fork, it just squirts out. It's like, ah. It's got to be firm. You got to be able to cut it almost like a cake, nice and firm, like a good cheesecake. Nice and firm. That way you can pick it up with one hand. Bam. And then just revel in the sweet goodness that pumpkin pie is. I wish I had some pumpkin pie right now. Thanks a lot there, John. Appreciate it. I mean, a good lasagna, pumpkin pie, potatoes, fried eggs on top of potatoes for breakfast, ramen, of course. I'm too almost Japanese to not have ramen. A good chili dog once in a while. Go for that. And some good old fried chicken. I'm easy to satisfy. You keep me fed with certain things. I'm a happy guy. All right. This ring right here, these bridges here, now we are truly outside of the Denver area. So we get down past Castle Rock, Monument, I believe Monument, yeah. Which we need to stop for fuel. Let's see here, add stop. The Monument here. In about half an hour, we're going to stop because we need to top up our fuel. We're ultimate tank of fuel, 3/4 of tank for DEF. So we'll pop in there at Monument, at the Pilot Flying J, top up the fuel, and then we'll roll on to our pickup, delivery, pickup, and then someplace to park for the night. Excuse me. Cluet. No idea what Cluet is. We got a parking garage, big old office building. What they do, I couldn't tell you. Oh, what all right. I'm gonna get away from the old big city here. Is that new? I don't remember that Cabela's. I do not remember that Cabela's at all. That don't really matter either way. Watch for wildlife. How about I watch the road instead of gawking at nature? like I said, I wanted to be heading back to Atlanta today, but me got to load down to Albuquerque. Mile marker 190. We'll get off at 158 to stop at the Pilot Flying J. Top it up, roll it out. But here Tuesday, supposed to be some cold weather, some snow accumulation in the area. So I would like to get out of town if I can. Hello, trucker girl Kiana. Up in good old Washington State, huh? Well, I left there not too long ago. I made delivery up in Everett last Thursday. Picked up in Tacoma, picked up in Sumner, and got out to Ellensburg for the night. Bringing a couple things down here to Colorado. And then now, like I said, I do this pickup, do the delivery. I go down to Pueblo West. After Colorado Springs, go down to Albuquerque. So we're just going to keep on rolling. On the left-hand side, down 10 or so, couple miles down here, we're going to pass by Kessel Rock. It's about 30 minutes, 30 miles to down to Monument. Working our way southward instead of east. Like I said I wanted to get back to Atlanta for a couple days, but it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer than that. But that's the nature of trucking, It's like, hey, can you find me a load to the house? Yeah, sure, do what we can, but there may be loads going from the Denver area, Colorado Springs area. There may be 50, 60 loads going all the way back to the Atlanta area. But the shipper, the broker, the receiver may all have requirements for what type of trailer or truck, depending on what it is, when it can be picked up, what kind of equipment is necessary. Does it need tarps? Does it need spacer bars? Does it need wedges? Does it need dunnage? Does it need, does it need a refrigerator unit? Does it need a side curtain unit? Does it need a beam truck? Does it need, all kinds of things like that affect whether it can that I can get the load to go. So, yeah, there may be 50 loads in the Denver area, but the truck, the way it's set up, 48-foot heavy haul step deck trailer, 2 axles, no tarps, non-refrigerated, all exposed. Maybe there's just nothing in the area that's going. All right, right up here, you can see right there the little cone there with the little straight top. That's Castle Rock. Why are we slow down here? 65 miles an hour, please. Whatever. So we're gonna. So this is the load that picked up. Four pieces to pick up in 3 locations, delivering to 1 destination. And that's also coming with 1 other load that needs to be delivered. That's separate from that. Oh, well, that's why it's called work and not super happy fun time. Stay in your lane there, buddy. You may have superior products, but you don't have superior driving. Oh, that right there on that little hill right there with that squarish top, and that's Castle Rock right there. Road work, 1 mile. And temperature is back down to 64. We were at 66 for a high, which is not too shabby in my book. I'll take that. Our chains are holding just tight, just fine. Lordy, Lordy, Lord. So today is definitely a little bit busier than what was anticipated. Pardon me. Yeah, so a boring day. But tomorrow, like I said, we'll be in Albuquerque tomorrow. And if everything goes just right, we should be able to be empty tomorrow afternoon. Which means Wednesday morning, everything goes right. I have a load heading back to Georgia. Which would be nice. I mean, and if I'm going to be down on down there, I mean, I can pretty much just take 40. No, yeah, should be able to just take 40 all the way across if I pick up in Albuquerque, right? Yeah, I mean, Albuquerque, take that over to Amarillo, follow that through Oklahoma, Little Rock. Then I'll probably once I get to Little Rock, to Memphis, I'll take the what is that, the 22. I'll take 22 down to Birmingham, and then I'll take I-20 straight over to Atlanta. So that wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I really hate that section of Little Rock to Memphis. That stretch of I-40, I absolutely hate. As long as there's no accidents, which is usually the problem I have to deal with on that stretch of road. I mean, if I can do that, that'd be about as good as I could hope. But we will see what happens. What is and is not possible. But it kind of all hinges on whether or not I can get this piece of military equipment off the truck. If we can do that, we are good to go. Yeah. One of these years, they're actually going to finish messing with this. It's been like this for over 4 years now. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, but our ham HP 180i asphalt roller is riding pretty good. Not a problem. I mean, 30,000 pounds. We'll pick up another 1,000, 1,500 here at our next pickup. We'll make a delivery. We'll drop about 8,000 pounds. We'll pick up another 500 on our, and then it's straight down to Albuquerque. Wow, that was reckless. Pardon me. Didn't need to cut that guy off at all. Holy mackerel! Hey, why are we forced to go so slow down this much? Ah, right, whatever. But so far, God dang, that's a nice little bump there. Knocked your gallbladder out in that one. like I'm about to say, relatively a nice day weather-wise. The further south we go, but it's so good. Another bump here. Right. All right, about 11 miles down here to Baptiste Road. That's at 158. Monument, Colorado. We're going to pull in. We're going to top up our fuel. And then we'll head off to our pickup, delivery, pickup. So our pickup is about 20 miles away from where we're going to fuel up. And then about 5 miles around the block to get onto the base, and maybe another couple miles on the base. Then it's about 45 miles out to Pueblo West. And about 340 miles down to Albuquerque. So the the measurement for the route was given from where I started this morning, pretty much, or where I made my first delivery. I don't know if it's this tanker here slowing everybody down. Probably. I don't see any placards on there, so I don't know what he's carrying. Don't smell anything. But I think he's the culprit slowing people down here a little bit. Oh, well. It's about another 9 miles down the road. Like I said, I would like to get empty tomorrow. At the by the end of the day, be totally free of everything tomorrow evening if I can. I mean, yeah, I'll have to stop and stay at that TA Petro right there, but that would be a good price to pay in order to not have the load on the truck overnight there. hopefully tonight, like I said before, if I can get to the Walmart there in Trinidad, just about 12 miles north of the border with New Mexico, I'll be happy with that. But that's all depending on what happens here at this delivery.
Station ahead.
Way station ahead. And it is open. We don't often get to, we don't often stop at this way station. Most of the time that I've ever stopped, I think I've maybe only one time before in 5 years have I actually stopped at this way station.
Way station ahead.
Yes, I know. Thank you very much. All right. Ah. Yeah, slow down to 25. So we're basically in 12th gear right now. Bring it down to 11th. Bring it down to 10th. There's 9. What are you doing in here? Turn our exhaust brake off. Or engine brake, Jake brake, engine pressure, whatever you want to call it. Put her up in the third gear. And nice and clear, nice and easy. Oh. And you can see the weights right there off to the side. Park to left. Well, that's Dr. DOT here, so I will see y'all later.